When exploring the 10th house, it's best to start with its cusp. The cusp of the 10th is known as the midheaven, or the MC. Both this angle and the entire 10th house are associated with career, reputation, status, and achievement. As with every angle in the wheel, the closer you get to the midheaven, the more important a planet will ultimately be in the development of the sun. The 10th is the career house, but just as importantly, it's the house of reputation. A lot of the time, a person's career and their reputation are the same thing. Someone might be a doctor by trade, and they're known for being a doctor. They might be known for being an excellent doctor or a doctor with a podcast, but still a doctor. And when you meet them, it occurs to you to ask about the sharp pain you've been having in your ankle. In this case, career and reputation are fused. Only their intimates have any more information about them. However, career and reputation can diverge completely. William Carlos Williams was a doctor by trade, but known for his poetry. The fact that he made his money as a physician was a footnote in the poetry anthologies where he appeared. And I suspect this tidbit was only ever mentioned because some of his best poems are short due to the fact that he wrote them on the prescription pads he carried in his pocket. Both his vocation and rather prominent avocation fell into the 10th. Then there are people who only have a reputation. They've never needed to work and they've never had a career. In this case, the 10th will represent only what the native is known for. That thing might be a personality trait like eccentricity, or it might be a skill, as in being an expert windsurfer, or even philandering, or being involved in a crime, because infamy is a reputation too. Since we're talking about the highest point in the chart, try as you might, it's impossible to hide what's in the 10th. This area represents the features of your personality that are most visible to others. It's the point at which society sees you and a public consensus comes together. This begs a question. Why should we care? Why should we want others to have a fair view of us? Because reputation has a major effect on the kinds of offers you receive, on who approaches you, and on the kinds of opportunities you encounter. A good reputation can help a whole lifetime unfold in an expansive way. In short, your reputation is integral in how the sun actualizes. Before we go on, let me say something about the midheaven line as opposed to planets in the 10th. Let's say you have a planet at the midheaven and two more deeper in the 10th. The planet at the midheaven will be the leading force. It will bring the most dramatic occurrences, and those will play out in the most public sphere. The destiny of the planet at the midheaven will be the most important, and the others in the 10th will work to facilitate it. Ultimately, that will be done for the benefit of the sun. Finally, if you have a planet in the 9th that's within 1 or 2 degrees of the midheaven, it will usually operate as if it's in the 10th. If you have no planets in the 10th, you'll be seen publicly as the sign on the cusp of the midheaven. And transits to this important angle will stimulate your reputation temporarily. As you grow older, your 10th comes together to create your personal role in society. Your role usually grows with time, and all the roles you've played flow into your authentic role, the one that most helps the sun. So what happens when we find Neptune in the 10th? Well, given Neptune's association with illusion, confusion, and distortion, we find the same kinds of problems in projecting an accurate self-image as we find when Neptune is on the ascendant. What you're projecting and what the public is seeing may be very different. You might get back a reflection that's nothing like what you put out. You might wonder where people are getting these ideas about you when you didn't say or do the things they think you did. When it comes to Neptune, it can feel as if you don't have much control over your reputation. Truth is, everyone with Neptune in the 10th would do well to have a public relations firm molding and shaping their public image. Because while their image might not be all that bad, it's often inaccurate. Neptune at the highest point also coincides with a particular view of the world. These natives tend to think there's a lot of suffering on the planet, lots of disadvantages, and a lot of neediness out there. This viewpoint usually comes from somewhere. And because we're in the 4th, 10th axis, the parental axis, we should look at the parents. In the case of Neptune, the mother. Neptune is associated, don't forget, with pre-birth and the waters of the womb. A lot of natives with this placement report that their mother was unprepared for the world in which she lived, and therefore she was prone to personal suffering. And quite often, they were responsible for their mother's emotional happiness in childhood. Being leaned on by an adult is a difficult task for a child, and it's often what draws them to the social service work they're famous for to begin with. This type of work is sometimes an attempt to clean up the unfair reality of life. It can seem to offer a form of salvation. It can also serve Neptune's other obsessions, which are healing, purification, cleaning, and working with victims. We get swallowed up in the house where we find Neptune. So in the 10th, there's a potential to get swallowed up by the public, by clients in the helping professions, by your career itself, or even by a reputation that haunts you. Neptune is the planet of the paranormal, and therefore it tends to haunt the house in which you find it. There's another quirk I've seen with Neptune in the 10th, and that's a feeling of being in the wrong profession. In fact, they've always been in the wrong profession. I heard this recently from a riverboat pilot. He spent 30 years driving barges up and down the Chicago River. And all the while, he was feeling that he should have been a long haul trucker. Neptune loves to dream, even if the job they dream of is lower money and lower status. It just loves to long for what it doesn't have. And if you ask why they never made the move to their true occupation, they're likely to come up with reasons mostly having to do with their fate somehow being out of their hands. Since Neptune is associated with imprisonment, we find natives who feel imprisoned by the work they do. They may even feel imprisoned by an avocation or a passion that they can't put down. The starving artist or musician or the unrecognized writer with Neptune in the 10th can easily feel caged by their need to self-express because it's generally uncompensated work. It takes time, energy, and even money, and it gives back little in the way of worldly wealth. Finally, there's also a magical mirror quality that belongs to Neptune. In the 10th, they can activate the fantasies in the minds of the public and then give them exactly what they're longing for. This placement can pull people in, hypnotize, mesmerize. When Neptune in the 10th is wildly successful, it's usually because they've hooked into this particular dynamic. They use Neptune's penchant for glamour to give the public exactly what it wants. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk. Stay tuned for all the ways you can get in touch for a birth chart reading and full astrological services. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.